Every great actor has his skeletons in the closet and his own episodes of biography for which he may be ashamed. There are also such pages in the life of 89-year-old Brigitte Bardot. They concern her only son, with whom she has never been able to establish a relationship in her entire long life. The actress initially did not want this child, and even years later, when he turned from a crying baby into a handsome and successful man, she could not find the key to his heart. But maybe she didn't really try? Brigitte Bardot found out that she was going to have a child with actor Jacques Charrier at the age of 25. They met on the set of the movie Babette Goes to War and immediately fell in love with each other. And at that time, the actress already had a very solid love experience. She had been married, divorced, and had several lovers. After learning about the pregnancy, Brigitte wanted to get rid of the baby, but in France, it was impossible to do such an operation. Besides, the actor in love with her was not at all against the child and even, on the contrary, offered her to formalize their relationship officially so that the baby was born into a full family. Brigitte gave in. The wedding took place, followed by painful months of pregnancy for the actress. She felt terrible, not even physically anymore, but mentally. The interesting situation weighed on her, as well as the journalists who besieged the newlyweds' house around the clock in the hope of taking photographs of the pregnant actress. I had to stay at home all the time with the curtains tightly closed and not go out. Bardot felt ugly, plump, and very unhappy. Looking ahead, it is worth saying that in her memoirs, which were very frank, the actress compared the child to a tumor that fed on her when she was pregnant. To protect herself from excessive public attention and paparazzi, Brigitte decided to give birth not at the clinic, but at home. The baby was born on January 11, 1960. His parents gave him the name Nicolas Jacques. Brigitte immediately refused to breastfeed him in order to not be deformed for the sake of the role of a wet nurse, which she considered inhumane. The baby felt the cool, detached attitude of his mother, and when she took him in her arms, he began to cry every time. And it seemed to her that the baby hated her. The house of Bardot and her husband was besieged by photographers who were on duty both under the windows and on the roofs of neighboring houses. All this further undermined the psyche of the actress and caused her to have an even greater aversion to motherhood. Being a mother was torture for her. However, outwardly everything was exactly the opposite. At photo shoots with the baby, which were occasionally arranged for magazines and posters, Brigitte portrayed tenderness, smiled broadly, in general, a beautiful mom, happy in her motherhood. Meanwhile, the child was increasingly burdening the actress. He was a source of anxiety. What if, because of her new life role, she would stop being given movie roles? A charming teenage girl, a sex symbol of millions. All this could collapse because of this screaming little bag. And then there are problems with her husband. Earlier being drafted into the army and not wanting to fight in Algeria, he feigned a mental disorder. It shook his nervous system, and now his health has become unimportant. The couple often had quarrels, which often ended in a fight. It all ended with Brigitte Bardot cheating on her husband with actor Sami Free. A big scandal broke out, after which the actress' husband Jacques Charrier filed for divorce and claimed his rights to his son. The actress did not claim the baby and even, on the contrary, refused it herself. At the trial, she stated that she could not take care of the child because she needed care herself. According to the court order, the child was given to his father. Sherry raised his son in love, and he was grateful to him all his life. Brigitte continued to see the boy occasionally and made feeble attempts to establish contact with him. However, he always felt that he was assigned a secondary role in her life. For example, at the age of 12, Nicolas once stayed with his mother and did not want to go home. He asked Brigitte for permission to stay with her longer. However, his mother refused him, explaining that she had a dinner party planned for the evening with important people, and the child would be inappropriate. That day, the teenager finally understood how his own mother treats him. After that incident, he did not speak to her for several years. Nicolas grew up handsome, entered the Faculty of Economics at the University of Paris, studied music. Pierre Cardin once noticed an attractive young man and invited him to work as a mannequin. And then Bardot suddenly remembered that she was a mother. The 47-year-old actress tried to resume a relationship with her son, but nothing worked out. And although she wrote in her memoirs that 22-year-old Nicholas was her support and even her family, in fact, it was impossible to turn back the clock. The young man understood perfectly well that his parent had never had a maternal instinct, and now, many years later, he was unlikely to wake up, no matter how beautiful words she wrote and said. Fans of the celebrity did not realize how cold her relationship with her son was. Nicholas's personal life turned out well. On the catwalk, he met a Norwegian model, Anne Lind Jerken, fell in love, and soon they got married. Brigitte hoped that Nicholas would at least invite her to the wedding, but this did not happen. The actress held a grudge, and when Nicholas and Anna had a daughter, she did not come to look at her. But after the birth of their second child, the actress still stepped over her pride and came to Norway with them. Mother and son resumed communication, however. Their relationship could not be called warm and close. The end of this story was put by the memoirs of the actress, which were published in the late 1990s. From this book, her son and ex-husband learned a lot of unpleasant things about themselves. Enraged, they sued the elderly actress, considering that her memories and conclusions were the disclosure of details of private life and an insult to their feelings. Themis took the side of the men and ordered the actress to pay them 250,000 francs in compensation. At a more advanced age, the actress's son left the podium and took up computer technology. His own family has always played an important role in his life. He's a grandfather now. One of his daughters became an actress, and the second chose a modeling career. Nicholas prefers not to communicate with his mother. When journalists ask him why he does not want to establish a relationship with his parent, the man sarcastically explains that he and Brigitte are too different. Like she loves her seals, and he, Nicholas, loves his loved ones. The actress has always loved animals more than her own son. Recall that despite the lack of maternal instinct, Bardot was still not devoid of empathy. She was very worried about animals, in particular for seals being exterminated in Canada, launching a powerful campaign in their support, and in 1987 she opened her own animal protection fund. The actress spent millions on charity, but alas, she did not have enough empathy, love, or time for her own son. Bardot was never up to his son, but it was her choice. The world of big cinema is cruel. Dropped out of the clip for at least a couple of years, and you've already been forgotten. Perhaps this is what Brigitte Bardot was afraid of when she realized how responsible it is to be a mother of a baby. Alas, some other stars also sacrificed their family for their careers, and not just the family. Read about the price of fame, prestige, and awards.